Too many people in this world fail to realize that anything worth it in this world is going to be hard. Too many people move forward and try to do great things going into it thinking that it's going to be easy. If you go into anything great and think it is going to be easy, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to fail. You have to understand the thing that you want to work on, you have to work hard on it. You need to understand you can't work easy on it. Working easy on things is what is going to lead to your ultimate failure. There's an epidemic of people in this world who think that everything should be easy and you should not try hard at anything. Those people are going to get nowhere. Do not listen to anyone like that. You need to listen to strong people who are advising you to put your all into the things that you care about. If you are not going to put the all into the things that you care about and work extremely hard on them, you are not going to get anywhere in whatever endeavor it is you are trying to go big in. If it was easy, everyone would do it. That's the motto that you need to take with you. You need to understand that there are other things you need to focus on versus the actual end goal that you're thinking about in your head. You need to not think about physical items. You need to think what it is going to bring to you spiritually by succeeding. The sense of pride that you are going to get, the sense of confidence, the sense of accomplishment that you will have from working on a goal and getting to a point where you can feel proud of it. There are other things you get from working on your goal besides the actual output that you think about mentally in your goal. There are things that you can build within yourself, like discipline, your ability to take on hard things, your ability to push through when times are tough. Every time you do push through a goal, every time you do work on this hard thing that it is that you are working on, you are building the muscle in your brain to be able to focus and do better and work harder on things. The brain is a muscle just like your body, and every time you train it to work hard, it is going to resist the urge to quit, stop, walk around, dilly-dally. Every time you do it, you're gonna gain the ability to focus, gain the ability to go deeper into intellectual work and just work harder. Whatever your goal is, I want you to think where you'll be in a year from now if you just continue to work on it. Let's say you dedicate 1 hour a day to whatever it is that you want to work on. Think about what 365 hours of effort into whatever it is you want to work on will do for you. I can give you an example from my life. My life, something physical. This isn't exactly a lifetime goal of mine. It's something that I do work on constantly, but I can think of when I first started the gym. I'd say I probably average about an hour in the gym, or when I first started, that's when I averaged an hour in the gym a day. Let's say 365 days. If you can relate to something like that, think of where you were when you first walked in the gym and think about what you'll look like 365 days later, whether it be from a muscle building standpoint or a weight loss standpoint. Imagine the guy who's overweight 50 pounds. If he goes to the gym every day for 365 days, look what putting an hour into his physical appearance did for him every day. And he watched his diet. Look at how much changed by him just allocating that amount of time to something for 1 year straight. Whatever your goal is, whatever you want to work on, whatever you want to stay disciplined in, whatever you want to work to get good at, imagine where you will be if you just work on it for 1 hour a day. I know you think you're not making a whole lot of progress right now. I know some days you're probably not going to make as much progress as other days, but what you're doing is you're actually putting yourself in a position where you can get things done. If you've ever heard of the 80-20 principle, it is a principle that goes over 100% of your time, and it states that for every 100% amount of work that you put in, 80% tends to be about busy work and 20% tends to be something that is actually good and viable and something that you can use to help you. The thought behind this is you're not always going to produce good work, but what you are doing with that 80-20 rule is you are putting yourself in a position to create good work. Yes, most of the time it's going to be shit, but you wouldn't have that little good 20% if you didn't put yourself in that position to create something great. So if you think most of the time you're doing bad on something, don't. You're just practicing on getting better. Every time you're doing something that you don't think you can offer to someone, every time you produce something that you don't think others would like, do not think it's useless. What you're doing is just building your ability to put out that stuff that people are going to want to see, and with whatever endeavor you are in. Just because you don't think what you're doing in the moment isn't good or isn't something that people are going to want to see, just know you're working on getting the stuff that people are going to see to a better level. Once you get to that point, once you get to the 365 days, you'll look back and you'll see all the progress you've made. And if people do start to see what you've been working on, think about how proud the people around you will be of what you've worked on, and think about how proud you'll be with the things that you've worked on yourself. Think about how proud you'll be of you. Get comfortable with getting uncomfortable. If you've ever worked really hard on anything and you failed, or you quit and you got up and tried again and tried to do something else, you are not a quitter. You were just in a situation where you didn't have enough passion to keep on working on whatever it is you were working on in the moment. If you truly do have a passion, you truly work on it, and you truly succeed in it, the people that do truly succeed on the things that they work really hard on, they are able to get to the success levels that they get to because that is something that they actually care about. They're not doing it for any other impure reason. They're not doing it for any financial gain. They're not doing it to impress anybody else. They're doing it because that is what they were born for, okay? If you keep failing on things and you keep trying, like I said, if you keep trying, you are not a quitter. But if you failed or you quit or you lost passion in it, it's okay. As long as you keep on going and keep getting up and keep trying something new, it is all right. If you didn't like it, don't think you weren't good at it. You just didn't have enough passion in it, okay? If you're really going to be good at anything, if you want to put your mind to anything, you need to make sure it's something that you actually want to do. It cannot be for impure reasons. If you're doing it for clout or social status, it is not going to work. Before you set your mind on anything that you want to do great in, you have to be sure first that it is a pure want from within you. If you put yourself in a position where you are having to work on something that you do not care about, you are going to fall behind your competition eventually, because not only you, but your competition, everybody gets tired. But when people do get to their lowest point, their most exhausted point, money and social status aren't going to be the things that push you to the next level. Because yeah, you might be able to get to that point where you may get some good finances, you may get some sort of social status, but to push beyond that point, to push behind that want or need for acceptance, that's where you're going to start to fail. Because once you get to that point, you're going to have nothing else to pushing you to grow. But once you get to that point, you're going to need that pure want from within you. Once you get the materialistic things out of the way, you're going to need something else to push you even further. You're going to need something else to push you past the competition. If the competition has that pure want from within him and you do not, you guys are going to get to a level and they're going to be able to grow, and you're going to be stuck in the same spot because you're not going to have any other motivation to keep you pushing. You're going to stay stagnant and complacent, and there's going to be nothing to push you forward. Yes, you may have that money and social status, but something in you is going to crack. You're not going to be happy. You had success on a small level, but you don't have sex. You don't have success from deep within you. If you're the type of person that did get that far, you're probably the type of person that needs to have some sort of purpose in this world. And once you do get to that point, you're no longer going to have purpose, and you're going to fall off, and you're going to grow miserable no matter how much social status or money that you do have. Being uncomfortable fucking sucks, but I can tell you from experience that it does get easier over time. I can think of times in my life where I've been at the shittiest and the lowest. I've been through Marine Corps boot camp. It didn't end up working out. I had to leave for personal reasons towards the end, but that was the most difficult 3 months in my entire fucking life of constant physical, mental, and sleep deprivation. The first 3 days you're there, you do not sleep at all. You are there for you are up for about 38 hours straight. You finally lay in a cot. I swear to God, you fucking blink and goddamn wake up, okay? It's bad. I thought I was never gonna get better. Every morning when we would walk out to chow hall, go get our breakfast and shit like that, I was literally falling asleep while walking, not being able to stay conscious, and I thought about quitting every day because I thought it was not going to get better. Up at 4 a.m. every day, fucking bust your ass all day, walk around with 80 pound packs, running back and forth, buffed out drill instructors screaming at you all day, people getting into fights left and right, you're getting into fist fights with people, constantly carrying heavy shit, yelling, screaming, high stress environment. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it. No one thought they were going to be able to make it. But I tell you, on the 3-month mark, doing something consistent and every day, your brain does get used to it. On the 3-month mark, I couldn't believe how far I had come. I couldn't believe the way I felt in the beginning of boot camp versus the end. I was towards the end, and I tell you, when the lights start flickering for 4 a.m. and everyone starts screaming, it just becomes your new norm, and it's no longer hard anymore. Your base level gets reset. So I did it long enough, so I became used to it, and it became my new norm. So I wasn't able to have any bad feelings about it anymore because I was just used to it. I didn't have anything else to compare it to. I had nothing to, the only thing I had to compare it to was the last 3 months, which I was used to. I couldn't tell myself, oh, this fucking sucks, because nothing else did suck more than that. That's all I was doing the past 3 months. And that can translate to whatever it is you want to work on. It's going to suck in the beginning. Like I said, anything worth it is not going to be easy, but I tell you this, make a schedule, work on it, do the same things every day, week, and it will get easier. The longer you do it, it's going to suck less, because you're not going to be able to compare that suck to anything else. You're only going to be able to compare that suck to the last 30 days, year of suck, and you're going to realize nothing is worse than what you're doing. You're used to it. This is fine. that's just your new norm, that's your new base, so your brain is okay with that. Your brain basically just tells yourself, yeah, that's who we are now. Like there's nothing bad I can say about it, because that's just who I am, that's what I do. We haven't done anything worse than this, we haven't done anything better than this. Staying consistent long enough, your brain will get used to it, it will get easier, and you will get used to the idea of working as hard as you need to get to your end goal. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, it's gonna be a great thing for you. You're gonna become the type of person, you're gonna form the type of habits that are gonna make you the type of person who is just used to doing difficult things, and that's gonna bring you great things. If you can get to that point where your new norm is doing a difficult thing, your opportunities and doors that are going to open for you are going to be endless, because I'll tell you, more than 95% of the population, I'd say 99% of the population out there are just concerned with how easy they can make their lives. And when you can get yourself used to and make it a game out of what hard thing can I do today, how can I make my life more difficult so it'll make me smarter, once you start to associate getting smarter with doing difficult things, you're gonna get addicted to this, and you're gonna end up doing, your work output is going to be 50 times more than the average person by just getting used to doing a difficult thing, getting used to challenging yourself, getting used to putting yourself in positions where you have to learn new things. Being that guy, getting used to being that guy is just gonna make you so much goddamn smarter, and it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna open up a ton of doors for you. It's gonna show people who you are. People are going to understand how strong you are, and people are gonna wanna help you, and it's gonna allow you to attract people who are like that as well. And you being around those people, you'll be able to bounce ideas off each other. You'll be able to look at each other's perspectives and just have new outlooks on life, and just continue to surround yourself with people who are addicted to just getting better and just being the best person that they can be. And once you surround yourself with those people, your opportunities are endless. You become a team, and you can build something great together, or use each other's advice to build your own great things. If you can become that person who is comfortable with being uncomfortable, who doesn't even give it a second thought anymore, I want you to think about where you'll be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, even 30 years from now, when you have your family. Think about what you becoming that man will do for your future family. Think of the life you'll have, think of the wife you'll have, think of the kids you have, think about how smart all the people around you will be. Think about the life you have built for yourself. Think about the mindsets that you have built for everyone around you. And think about the overall mental health and well-being and spirituality that you have developed within yourself in all these years, constantly self-assessing and making sure to go in the right direction. You are guaranteed just to become a happier person by putting yourself on this direction, because putting yourself on this path, you're becoming a more conscious person. And when you are conscious, you start to develop the skills to identify what is making you happy, what is making you sad, and you start to develop the skills to get you out of that sadness. It makes you strong, and you have to be a strong person to get yourself out of that sadness sometimes. If you become the type of person who's addicted to doing hard things and doing everything for themselves, you will learn how to get yourself out of bad situations. It's basically the antidote to being happy, by just being obsessed with this journey of just being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So you'll be comfortable with being sad. You'll know how to better self-assess the situation. You'll know how to pinpoint when you are sad. You'll learn how to understand when there is a problem. You'll learn how to identify the problem, and you'll understand how to fix it from your skills of just knowing how to do hard things. Nothing is going to be able to set you back. Nothing is going to set you back. The only thing that could be responsible for your failure is you. And once you become the type of person that can learn to be responsible for their mistakes and learn how to fix their mistakes, you are inevitably going to be the best you, because you will know how to make yourself the best you, and you can only become the best you if you are happy at the end of the day. Yes, as I said before, you as a person, man or woman, you are responsible to fix the problems that do arise in your life, but you also, as a person, need to understand that sometimes you do get dealt a shitty hand and something is not your fault. Being the type of person that can become comfortable with being comfortable, you will have developed the skills to deal with that shitty hand that you were dealt. Just being comfortable with being uncomfortable throughout your life. Think about the man and woman that you will become. Think about all the success that you'll build for yourself. Think about how far you'll go by being that man or woman that can do hard things. Think about the confidence that you're going to achieve. Think about your success, and think about how happy and confident you will feel about that success, and think about how confident that will make you as a person. You'll know that you are capable of hard things, and you'll know that you are capable of anything, because to get to a point where you can label yourself as successful, you have to be confident, because that is not a fact. That is an actual opinion that you are confident in what you do. And once you understand and actually believe that you are confident in what you're doing, you'll become a confident person. That's where you're going to go. That's where your mind is heading if you stay on this journey. Think about the leadership abilities that you'll develop as a man or a woman. Think about the respect that you'll be able to command to people. Think about the articulation that you'll build in your voice just by being a leader and getting yourself into that position. You need to think long term and think about who you will become if you continue on this journey long term. It is going to bring you much more than materialistic things like finances or social status. It's going to bring you intelligence, smarts, power, and overall enlightenment in the end. And it's going to bring you to a point where you can become content and happy with what you've dedicated your life's work to. You're going to get to a point where there were no mistakes. You're going to get to a point where you're happy with everything that happened to you in your life. And you're going to get to a point where you wouldn't change a thing and you wouldn't have anything any other way than what it is right now. Those are some reasons why you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. The hardest thing is the repetition and doing it for a long time. I guarantee you, I will preach this over and over again. The longer you do it, the easier it gets. I'm not saying it's going to be physically easier. Mentally, it's going to become easier because your brain is going to develop a new baseline of what it does every day. Putting yourself in positions of just doing hard things, getting used to that. Your brain is going to need to run on hard things, because if you do not give it that any longer, once you do get to that point, it's going to grow antsy and it's not going to want to focus on anything. You're going to make yourself the type of man or woman who needs a difficult problem in front of them, who needs to be challenged, and becoming that person, you can really unlock your brain's full potential. Keep going. Understand it's not going to happen overnight. Whatever you do want to work on, repeat, 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 do, and it will get easier. I promise you. It will become your identity.